Gonzalez, Harris County Sheriff. Early this morning, very scary situation. Two off-duty Harris County Sheriff's Office deputies were involved in a crash, a major crash while off-duty along the Katy Freeway. Both were transported to the hospital. Initial reports were that they were both in very critical condition. I was there early this morning to check on them with their family. It appears that at this moment they're listed as being in serious but stable condition. We pray that they both make full recoveries. We're supporting their families as much as we can as well. But again, very scary situation anytime any member of our agency is hurt or injured in any way. And so we're just pulling for them. The investigative agency is going to be the Houston Police Department. So anything specific to the crash, they'll be the ones that will be taking the lead on that. At this point, at this initial stage, we're just really just supporting them as much as we can. Very thankful to all the medical personnel and support personnel there at the hospital that are giving them excellent care. We're able to kind of mobilize quickly, stabilize them as best they could. They both obviously have very serious injuries, but we're prayerful that in time they'll be able to recover and hopefully heal from those wounds. But these initial days and hours are always very critical. They could always worsen, or our hope is that they continue to improve. But that's the information we have, and we're very grateful to the outpouring of support that we always have for any law enforcement that's injured or hurt in any way. And so we appreciate. I know the family appreciates the support from everyone.
Do we have any identity of the two deputies?
Not yet. I know that the family was still in the early morning. They were still trying to call other people, so we're not releasing the names now. They're both patrol deputies with us. One has been with us a little bit longer. The other one has been with us a shorter time frame, came to us through another agency. But they're both patrol deputies and very loved and respected by their peers. And so, greatest show of support from our agency as well.
Can you talk about whether or not they were out performing another off-duty job, or they were just out hanging out together?
I know they're both friends. I don't know what they were doing before. I don't know if I don't believe they were out working. I think they were just out together. And so I don't know where they were coming from or any of that quite yet. So that'll be obviously things that will be looked at some point. Our main thing right now is just, them surviving this and hopefully being able to heal and get back on the job in due time. But the main thing is right now just the healing process and supporting the family. This is always a shock to anyone when it happens, and things get disrupted for everyone. So we just want to make sure that they're okay. But in terms of their exact whereabouts or what transpired, that's all still obviously under investigation.
Any idea if the Toyota 4Runner belonged to one of the deputies?
I believe it did belong to one of the deputies, and so that's the information that we have, that they were in one of their cars.
Was the other vehicle involved in the accident? Was that driver injured or at all that you know of?
I'm not sure about the injuries. I don't think it was anything fatal. Or it wasn't a fatal crash or anything like that. I don't know if it was major. I was not advised that there were any kind of major injuries. So my preliminary information is that there were no other reported injuries that I know of. If they were most likely relatively minor.
And are they still being cared for at Bentop?
They're still at the hospital right now.
I know you said HPD is going to do most of the investigation, but any signs of intoxication or DUI?
I didn't make the scene, so I'm not going to comment on that just because I don't want to speculate one way or another. I don't have any indication that was the case, but I didn't make the scene. They'll do it. They have great investigators, and so they'll handle that part of it. And everyone's treated the same way as if we're any citizen or anything. So they'll be handling that investigation, and we'll trust that they do a thorough and fair investigation to everyone involved.
And what needs to happen before you release any further information on these individuals or the circumstances involved?
Well, for us, there's no more, at this point, anything related to the crash itself would have to come through the Houston Police Department. We don't want to interfere or speculate on their investigation. Once the deputies are stable and or families been contacted and things like that, we'll most likely could release their names. But at this point, we don't have any additional information. I think HPD would be the one that would take the lead in releasing any information as part of their investigation. And
Have you seen the deputies? Or?
I did see them both. Yes, I was both at their bedside briefly this morning, and primarily with the families as well. I'll do it quickly.